Okay, hope I'm up. I think I am. Hey. Yeah, good to see you there. Good to see you there. Yeah, just kind of getting some things up and going here. Although I'm getting a playback here on my YouTube. I'm assuming you can see me, but for some reason this is not showing up on my stream on YouTube. It's been having this problem, and I'm just trying to see why it's doing that. I have no idea why. There it goes. There, okay. Just had to load it up twice. Had to load it up twice. Microphone should be on now. Yes, it is. We are up and running. Kind of get things up and going here. Big thing is for tomorrow. I'm just trying to get things up and ready to go for this landfall for tomorrow. We'll see. One thing's for sure, where the track is and where the center of circulation are definitely not lining up. At least not looking at the radar. I mean, it looks like the center's over here, and they got the center over here, so there's a little bit of a displacement there, to say the least. Not sure what the deal is on that. And you've been getting these tornado warnings, and that's observed. Probably had a water spout on this one. Confirmed water spout is located just offshore over Seminole, moving northeast at 30. Not a surprise. Not a surprise seeing that. Oh, I got my countdown clock. I'm not using it today. I'll definitely use it tomorrow. But I got my countdown clock now, so yeah. No, just whoever's going to come in here. Hey, Wolf Grover, how you doing there, brother? Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yeah, I got my new counter down below. It's working nice and dandy. And that, I see, got some of the chasers are out here. They're gonna try to get in position where they think where the landfall is going to be tomorrow. I tell you, folks, this is going to be really a headache when this thing. The steering currents are going to stall on this thing as it moves inward, and it is going to dump some serious rain across North Florida and Southwest Georgia. I mean, we're talking. Man, I see some of these rainfall estimates going up over 20 inches. I mean, that is going to be really, really bad. But the last pressure reading I saw, again, it was only at 992 millibars, so hasn't started decreasing yet. But as we start to get this circulation starting to close off there, which is clearly not with this track, I'm telling you, they're going to be doing some readjusting of that track with that, unless this center circulation is that. I mean, I just never seen it displaced that far off. Oh yeah, we're doing good. Family doing good. Wife doing good. Had my daughter here for a little bit, and took my dad back home. But like I said, I'm really kind of getting through all my stuff, getting ready for tomorrow. And we got the wall up and everything. Oh, I also added. Let me come back on this. I added this here new thing. I've actually got a remote now. I've actually got a remote control where I can go back and forth on this. I figured out how to do my display as well, so I'm over at the wall. I can go back and forth real easy on that stuff. That's a really handy thing to have. So really good thing to have there. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on here with this now. Getting pretty good there. But yeah, you see what I'm talking about here, though. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is really a mess. And I do have my other microphone, but I'm not going to use it right now. But I mean, here's the center of circulation. That is the center, but here's the track. I mean, that's significant difference there as far as where they put the center on that track and where this is. I'm not sure what's causing the display there, but clearly got some indications of an eye wall starting to form in there right there. This is coming from the Tampa radar here. And we've had a couple of tornado warnings here on these outer bands that kind of swing across. So yeah, that's a little concerning. That's definitely a little concerning in there right there. But yeah, we're just kind of getting headed down. I'm going to be doing some tomorrow, probably about 9 o'clock when we get closer to landfall, and I'm going to probably continue into the early afternoon hours. So we'll be doing some wall-to-wall coverage on this as this makes its way toward landfall. I do have some cameras up here. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Where am I looking here? Yeah, there's my. Ooh. Hold on a second. One of my cameras went down. Let's see if I get the camera. For some reason, I have to. That one times out for some reason, which for a YouTube channel is really weird to see. Yeah, St. George Island, I think, is going to be the big check there. But you can see the Sister Key, Key West. You see there, Panama City Beach. Those are the 4 cameras I'm kind of watching right now for this afternoon. So, but the conditions at St. George, one thing's for sure, the models were kind of trending this thing a little bit further to the west, but the fact that I've got the center is this far displaced, I mean, this track's got to shift a little east. I mean, it has to. I just don't see how that doesn't stay there. Let me go back over to the quad there again. Let me get this back in studio mode. A little bit better to do the studio mode thing here. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to see. But here's the thing: there's another one that may come in behind this one, another system. I think as the Atlantic's starting to really get going here, we'll be tracking a lot. But this one, right now, 85 mile per hour winds. It'll be interesting to see if we get any kind of deep pressure falls on this thing through the overnight. Typically, when you get a tropical system, you get some diurnal fluctuations there with the strength and the intensity of the system. So the fact that it looks like we're starting to get some semblance of an eye starting to form on this thing, maybe a partial eye wall forming up. So, yeah, let's see if that actually holds. Let me see if the Hurricane Hunter aircraft are out there. I'm gonna see if this has been refreshed, and we'll see if that's been out there. Nope, that's the old one. Yeah, still waiting to see if they got to know. The last pressure on the Recon out there was 993. Oops, let me go back to the wall here. I was trying to get that updated, but that did not update for some reason. Let me see here. Let me take this off the refresh real quick. Take that off refresh there. There we go. So you can kind of see the 993 millibars. So that's not too bad. It was like 1,001 this morning, so it's come down a little bit. But overnight tonight, I think we might start seeing some significant drop off, especially if this radar indication there is very true. Here's another thing. Keep this in mind here too, folks. I want to show you this real quick. You got water temperatures are sitting in the upper 80s up along the Gulf Coast. I mean, we're talking bath water here. Very, very significant bath water in here for Debby to feed off of. There's been a little bit of low-level shear that's been kind of blowing over the top of the system. Most of earlier today, it's got a little bit better organized, but hasn't been too great there. And let's see. Let me see if this is updated at all too. I'm double checking a couple of my stuff here, and I'll have to make sure I reset these too. This is 18Z. So yes, a couple of these now. I'm seeing more models. This is the intensity forecast here. And why is it doing that? I have no idea why it's doing that. It shouldn't be doing that, but it seems like every time I do a refresh on it, if I don't turn it back off, it is timing out. But seeing a few more kind of bumping this into the category of getting into a hurricane. So you see a few of these models up here kind of getting into a Category 1 hurricane for sure. One getting actually pretty close to a Cat 2. So that's something interesting to watch there. So, anyway, and let's see if this is updated here too. I need to change my down button on that. I need to change this. Something I need to do. Go back over here. All right, 6 of the. Yeah, I don't see any warning. All the warnings that are out right now, they are up in New York, upper state. There are a couple of them in North Carolina, and South Carolina. But I tell you, this whole area in here, I would say from the South Carolina coast, this area in here, especially Savannah, that zone's got to be watched, especially for some of these rainfall totals, man. I mean, they are really off the chart high there for some of the rainfall amounts. They're going to be really something to see. The thing is, this thing's really going to slow down as it approaches the Florida coastline, and it's going to take forever to get across southwest Georgia. Some of the models were backing it up into the. I know the GFS was doing this crazy loop-to-loop stuff on it. Really kind of nuts. Let me see. This is not updated here. Let's see here. Kind of getting late in the day, so this IR is going to be starting to go down here a little bit. But nice explosion there. It's pretty symmetrical. We're getting some pretty good outflow on top of this thing. Still appears to be a little bit of wind shear there, but not nearly as bad as what it was looking before. So it's definitely looking a little more symmetrical there with this. But again, I think before it's going to run out of real estate before it's really going to be able to, I think, take off and be a real significant hurt. Thank God for that. I don't think this is going to be a significant one, but as far as storm surge, that kind of stuff, there'll be some power outages, especially there across North Florida, part of the Florida Big Bend area. especially up between, say, Jacksonville and Tallahassee. That area is going to get hit pretty good with some of the winds. But again, it's the flooding rains. That's going to be the big story with this system. Is going to be that for sure. Let me see here. I'm going to take you over here to the. Let me switch over to the. I'm going to go over to the NAM here real quick. I'll show the model. Show the model on this real quick here. Where is the? Okay, we'll do the high resolution. We'll do this one. And we go to the southeast region. Regions. I need to get me some headphones. That's the next thing I need to get me, so I can pay attention a little bit better on some stuff here. Popular. Let's go to precipitation total. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I want to show you, the totals here. We're kind of going into this. This is the, make sure, let me go to the, I want to make sure I get the 18Z run. We'll go to this one because it goes out 48 hours. So check out these rainfall totals going in here. I mean, just really off the chart rainfall totals. And these are always underestimated too. I mean, these are kicking out 8, I see 9, I see 10. I mean, there's some very, very heavy rains in here. As that's going to come across southwest Georgia, North Florida, everything on the right side of that center circulation, that is going to be ground zero for this as far as the flooding is concerned. A lot of Georgia, Alabama may get some peripheral rains, but nothing that will be too bad there. East Coast drought, yeah, you said it. That is for sure. Absolutely. The economy is going to be real. I mean, when you start seeing the Weather Service throwing around words like catastrophic, catastrophe, catastrophic, historic, when they start throwing those kind of rainfall, again, the one thing about the models, because tropical system, they don't do the rainfall totals justice for what this thing's going to be here. And in fact, let me go out a little bit further. Let's go to the NAM. I think I can go out a little bit further on the NAM here. Yeah, there we go. Woo. See, I'm seeing 10, 11 in here. I mean, we're talking some major flooding here, folks. I mean, bad. But so the plan for tomorrow is again about 9 o'clock. I will be start the wall to wall, is watch the webcams, watch the storm chasers and stuff. Might come on a little bit earlier, but for tonight I'm just going to kind of play around, just kind of double checking everything here. You guys got any questions here for tonight? Please don't hesitate to do that. If you're kind of checking the channel out, again, we're going to be doing live coverage on Debby as it's making landfall here for tomorrow. And if you have not enrolled in the channel, please hit that subscribe button so you're notified. Again, right now we're looking at 9 o'clock tomorrow before the landfall, which is expected sometime between 12 and 2-ish. I guess that's the way that's looking right now for tomorrow. But we got a system. It's definitely getting better organized. It's a lot better. When I did my update this morning, still looked like everything was on the right side. The wind profile was definitely on the right side of the storm. And there was still a little bit of wind shear, but it appears it's gotten a little bit better organized, to say the least here. As you see that center of circulation going in here. Let me see what the velocity is looking out here as far as the winds. Yeah, starting to see it really close off. It's just on the edge of the radar range there. Not close enough for that. But if this thing closes off in here, if this is a true eye that's starting to form in here, if you get that core there to start to form, then the pressure is going to start dropping off significantly. I don't have my other phone with me. Doggone, I hate when I do that. I like keeping my mobile with me so I can check the. Let me see what the latest vortex message is out there. That vortex message, by the way, is a message that drops from the National Hurricane, from the Hunter aircraft that goes out there. And I kind of like to keep up on this and see. Yeah, that was the last one. So the new one, the plane is en route right now, the new one. So the last pressure reading was 993 millibars. I'm suspecting what I'm seeing right now when you're looking at the radar signature right there is we've got a system that may be getting into a gear to start doing some intensification here pretty rapidly. Like I said, top winds are 65. I think 85 is definitely very reasonable for this system. That's what the National Hurricane Center is kind of forecasting right now. with that. So it looks like that's probably looking pretty good there for right now, to say the least. But I mean, these guys here, I mean, look at these rainfall totals here. I bet they've been just very off the, like these rainfall. I mean, look at this. Woof. I mean, that is some heavy rains here, just coming through the Tampa area here. You kind of see this out here: 7 inches, 7 inches, 7.5, 8 inches, 8.5 inches. I mean, all this is going through the Tampa area right now on the west coast there of Florida. So the St. Petersburg area, Clearwater area, that flooding is going to be a major problem in that area for these, and that's only going to spread to the north. Anything on the east side of that center of circulation is going to be ground zero. Everything from here going this way out about 150 miles from the center of circulation. That is going to be where the heaviest rains are going to be, to the right of that center. But yeah, clearly watching that center, it's not. It'll be interesting to see if the 8 o'clock advisory, when the 8 o'clock advisory comes out in about an hour and a half, if that track's got to shift. I believe it has to. I mean, it really has to. Again, you clearly see the center here, but they've got the track way over here. That's not even close to the center there. So we got a dichotomy going on there with the radar signature and where the previous one. It may have been from where the Hurricane Hunter aircraft were out there earlier, but it's clearly starting to reform an eye that's to the east of that track. So this landfall that was sitting, right now sitting over here, unless it continues on a northward trajectory, maybe a little bit further to the east of that. Now, what's interesting about this, folks, here's one thing I want you to keep in mind. The curvature of the coast in here, you're looking at a pretty good storm surge that's going to go into there, and the way that curvature is of that curve, all the water is just going to channel that way. But the other positive news is there's not a whole lot there's not a whole lot in here. This is not kind of, if there was a place you wanted to put a landfalling hurricane, that's one place to put it, because there's just not a whole lot of beach conditions. There's not a lot of development in that area. So that is a good place for it to go, absolutely. Hey, if you're new to the channel and if you got any questions, the chat is up and functioning. I have the ability to pull up your questions like that from Wolfganger. There, you can put something in the chat. I can pull it up. I can answer your questions if you got anything there. If you're anywhere in Florida or in Georgia, East Georgia, the Carolinas, you guys got to be on ground zero for this thing. Be ready, because again, the flooding is my major concern here. Brunswick, Savannah, Charleston, any of those areas in here are going to be of the utmost of concern. This is what some of the models were kicking out, potentially 20 inches of rain in like 72 hours. We're talking a tremendous amount of rain. So we're talking the word catastrophic flooding, I don't think is being thrown away as something that to be underappreciated. Remember also that flooding is the number one killer. I mean, flooding kills more people than anything else that happens in the country, because people, they underestimate it. They just do. They do it all the time. So again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you would do me that favor. I got to use my clicker. I got to figure out how to do that. I got this neat little remote here. I've actually got a digital clock now that's on my wall that I can set on a 6-minute timer. I'm not using it now, but I will use it tomorrow. And as it goes off, it'll allow me to remind myself to promote the channel. Obviously, being a small channel and being that you've got to promote the channel every 5-6 minutes because of the turnover. That's the big thing there. So if you would like to be participant in tonight or even tomorrow, especially if when we get closer to landfall tomorrow morning, please, and thank you for that new subscriber there. I appreciate you there chiming on in, because when it comes to subscribers, that's how you build an effective YouTube channel. It's all about subscribers, the likes, the comments, and the shares. Those are all the right things. And when you only got about 4,000 subscribers, you really got to work at it to get everyone that you can to help the channel out to kind of grow this. Of course, I got that new weather wall, which I really like. I got that going. And actually, I probably need to go ahead and get my other microphone up. This has been behaving a little bit better. And I'm going to mute the other microphone here for a second. Mute this for a second. This has been acting a little bit better for the microphone. Let me know if in the comment section if you hear anything problem there. Hey, Mikey, what you got there? Motion is clearly north-northeast, maybe even northeast at this point. Yeah, and that's why I think the track's going to be the yes. Some of the computer modeling was drifting it further west, but not based off what I'm seeing on that signature, Mike. I'm just not seeing that. I think we're going to see that a little bit better. So again, you got that signature there. And let me get this back. I got to put this back in studio mode. My bad. I do have to do that. Okay, here we go. All right. So again, there's that center of circulation. We're getting that. This is pretty significant. I want to watch this closely here for the next hour or two. If this is closing off like a true eye wall, and it does appear to be taking shape here. But again, look, I mean, we're talking. That's got to be about. I'll check the measurement here in a second, but that's got to be a good 75-mile displacement there from the official track. This was the last update, and I'm like. It's not even close. I mean, I don't know what caused it. Sometimes when you get to multiple circulations and when you get a storm that's organizing, one displaced another one. I think that's what happened here, and this has kind of displaced this. So I think this track's going to shift to the right. I think it's going to be somewhere up in here. Now, if it continues a northern movement as the official track was there at the 5 o'clock advisory, we'll see if that continues. But you can see it's general turn to the right. And this thing should slow down. That's another thing. It's going to slow down as it gets further north and gets into Georgia. That's why the flooding concerns, because this thing's just not going to move that fast. And a tremendous amount of heavy rains here now coming through Tampa, Spring Hill, St. Petersburg. Some very strong stuff coming through there right now with this, right, as this continues to move up to the north. And obviously we got the tornado threat that's going to be there continuing forward tomorrow. So that's going to be a major player for tomorrow, to say the least. But anyway, I do have to work on a few more graphics. I don't have all my severe weather stuff updated. I'll have to do that tonight to get that over to the new look here. I do like my new counters, by the way. So my buddy Steve helped me out with that a little while back. So we got our official counter there, which obviously this is for other severe weather that's outside of this storm right now. But I just want to keep that up there so I keep an eye on that. Quieter but less room. Thank you there. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got it all the way up. So I mean, I was been using this on my Facebook forecast for a little while, and I haven't had any problems with it. It's been actually pretty good. And the quality of the quality of the mic, I think, has been a little bit better too. So we'll see how that works out. It's not too bad. But what I'm really concerned, again, got to go back to what I was going about this center of circulation here, is if this thing closes off, man, I'm telling you, then you're opening up your possibility for a rapid intensification. Okay. Now, again, I think this thing's going to run out of real estate before it could get too strong. But just like we saw with Beryl, remember when it got near the Texas coast, it went through a big burst there right before landfall. And I think we could see a similar situation here again, because the water temperatures are extremely warm in the northern Gulf. We're talking upper 80s in here, man. We're talking like 88 degrees up in here, man. We're talking bath water. Okay, we're talking some serious fuel. And as long as we've got good outflow and stuff going on, we don't have the Saharan dust that was sticking around here for a little while. But that has since cleared on out here a little bit. Just kind of show you this real quick. This kind of show we did have Saharan dust that got into the southeast, but that is pretty much cleared on out of here. And the Saharan dust out in the tropics is also starting indications of it letting up. So that's why I think as we go deeper into the month here, we're going to see more stuff coming in here. Let me turn that down, take that down there a little bit. There we go. As we progress through the rest of the month, that is for sure. But at least we don't have any of those warnings out there right now. The current, let me see, where's my thing here? Looking at my, that one right there. Let me switch this back over here. I want to switch this over here. Back to my studio mode here. Boom, there we go. So you can see all the advisories here. We got the tornado watches that are up across most of the interior. You got we've got the tropical storm warnings up for all up and down the coast. The hurricane warnings are in a small zone. That's kind of up in here. So we got this is where you got the hurricane warnings are right up in there. But all that red on the outside, that is your tropical storm warnings that are up. And again, tremendous amount of flooding problems across South Georgia going into the Carolinas. That's going to be really really the big story here as we go into the next couple of days. And like I said, I'll be doing the really significant stuff for tomorrow morning. If you'd like to be alerted for that warning, I did put it out there. I think I got it scheduled for tomorrow on YouTube. But if you gotta get those alerts, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Helps the algorithm too, by the way, when we're doing these live things. So subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, you know what to do. I always ask you to do it. Share the stuff with anybody out there watching, and also give me a thumbs up. Leave comments. That's why we got that stuff down there. Yeah, you're not kidding, man. Mike, I'm telling you, man, those Sirius surface temperatures are huge, man. They're very, very warm, and that is gasoline for the fire. All right, let's see. I saw we got a tornado warning. I was seeing if it was anywhere in Florida. I don't see one down here. I just saw, oh, there it is. It's up here. There it is. We got a new tornado warning just came out in this area. And this is very common, by the way. Very, very common to get this. Let me switch up to this radar here. So we got a radar indicated tornado. This is for east central Alachua County until 7 o'clock. Symptoms are capable of producing a tornado is located near Hawthorne or near Melrose, moving northwest at 30. Which is kind of weird, obviously, because most tornadoes are going in the opposite direction. So they're kind of going this way around that center of circulation. Now, what's interesting about these, when you get these tornadoes, when you talk about tropical systems, they tend to be fairly weak. They don't last very long, but you can get a tremendous amount of them. Think about during Beryl, for example. We had that thing almost challenged Hurricane Ivan's number as far as the number of tornadoes it produced. I was really surprised at that one, that one set up as many tornado warnings as it did for that system. I don't know if we're going to repeat of that with this one or not. You know, every storm system's a little bit unique and different from the other. But yeah, we'll see how this one works out. Yeah, they're very good, Mike. I'm telling you, man, that Tampa's going to continue to get the heavy rains. I think they got a few more hours once the center of circulation gets a little bit further north. But here's the thing, it's moving due north. But look at these feeder band. This feeder band is just going to continue to feed over the same area. So in weather terminology, we call that training. It's the heavy rains are going over the same ground. So that's going to continue to be, that's why the flooding potential is going to be so high through there. And that's just going to work its way further north. So we're talking Ocala, we're talking Gainesville, Live Oak, Jacksonville, all those areas there to the east of that center of circulation will continue to see significant flooding problems with that. So I'll be checking those rainfall totals there throughout the duration of the stuff. If I'm going to do this thing for tomorrow, I really need to figure out how to do this real quick. So let me see about doing this. I need to do, I got this is my instruction sheet here on this new clock I bought. It's supposed to do the countdown thing. So I hit the down button. I think I hit the down button there. And let's see, then I press that button there, and there it is, 6 minutes, and then hit OK to save, and then hit the play button. There it goes. All right, that's cool. I like that. I need to let that thing go. I gotta get used to using it. Hear that? That's my little alert thing. So that for me, that's important because when you start talking about weather coverage and you're doing this kind of stuff, the time can go out the window a little bit. So obviously when you're doing a YouTube channel and you're trying to grow the stuff, you got to do that promotional thing. So to have that clock up there, and I love it. I wish I could show it to you. It's a digital clock. It's up on my wall. It's right there to my right, so I can see it. It does a nice little countdown for me. And when it gets to the end, it's gonna ding off, and then it'll start all over again. Because of when it comes to doing the YouTube broadcast, those of you not familiar with this, you get constant people coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out. So when I ask folks to subscribe to the channel, give that thumbs up, leave a comment, you got to do that every 5 to 6 minutes, because if you do not, the algorithm goes, well, you're not a player anymore and you're not invited, and it locks me out. And I really hate that too. I mean, it takes the fun out of it, because obviously every YouTuber out there wants to try to get their biggest audience. Obviously, that's what we're doing this for. We want to make sure we keep you guys informed, keep you up on the latest stuff, what's going on weather-wise. I like to share my knowledge and experience with you guys.
But you also don't want to be talking to yourself either. So you got to try to do the best you can with what you got. Terry, what you got there? What is Debby this evening? Right now, Debby is a tropical storm, still at 65 miles per hour. There is a Hurricane Hunter aircraft that's inbound heading out there here in a little while. And it'll be interesting to see if the pressure's starting to fall. I will say, looking at the radar signature here, Terry, that we are definitely getting indications of a storm that's getting better organized, that we may be getting a partial eye wall here starting to form a little bit. What's interesting is that how far away displaced it is from the official track, which is here. The track is sitting over here, and that's just not, that's a big difference from where the center of circulation is going. So as I'm broadcasting here tonight and I'm kind of testing my tools, like I said, I got to reset some of my other graphics, which I'll do a little bit at a time as I'm going through here tonight. But we'll watch this closely for tomorrow morning. Live broadcast. Right now I'm saying tentatively 9 o'clock because I think the landfall time is looking around noonish, 2 o'clock. You know, you got to pace yourself when you do these things. But if it's a little bit sooner, I may start a little bit sooner. But right now, kind of going about 9 o'clock tomorrow mornings when I'm looking to do landfall and coverage and stuff. And I'll be watching those cameras, man. I'll tell you that. We're going to be watching those cameras here quite a bit. Although, I did not realize the St. George camera, for whatever reason, constantly times out. So I guess I just have to use that. These are the cameras that I'm using right there. St. George Island, Panama City Beach, Sister Key, and then, of course, Key West. Things should get better there in Key West, although they still got some rough surf down there, obviously well away from the center of circulation. So St. George Island is probably the one, if it was to wobble a little bit further to the west, I'd be most concerned about. But it looks like they should have an offshore wind for them for tomorrow. So that's good news on there. Let's take a look at the, let me go back over here. I want to take a look at the latest hurricane map here, last upgrade here from some of these high resolution models here. Hold on one second. I'll go and get this up. Let me switch this over. And let's switch over to, there we go. And go to this one. There we go. So I'm pulling up some of these model data here. We'll kind of take a look here. This is the reflectivity here on this model here. It's one of the high resolution models here. Is it? Oh, it's not even. Oh, it's just upgrading. I see. That's just now coming in. Let's back this up one. Let's go to 18Z here. There we go. You see where the 18Z was putting this thing further west. You see where that center of circulation is going over there? I think it's going to be to the right of that, at least based off what we're seeing with that current radar signature. But that's with that model there. That was the 12Z run. Let me go back to 18 here. Let's see what the 18Z. Why is that not loading? I guess it's not loading up all the way. So let's go over to the other one here. Let's switch over to the other one. And switch over to this one. That one's also being redone. All right, so that's what we're doing right there. Let's go back to I'll go to the hourly one, high resolution. We'll go to this one, and I'm going to go back to the southeast United States. Let me switch back over to the southeast real quick. Southeast, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right, let's see the hourly. So we'll see this thing. You see it circulating, coming in. It does a wobble kind of back and forth, but it's pretty close to the high resolution. Pretty close to what the National Hurricane Center's got for their official track there, kind of going in there. So this is the latest 18-hour loop here. So we'll see if that gets any more developed. Again, I do suspect this will be a hurricane for sure when it's making its landfall here. So right now, just kind of waiting to see. I want to see what the Hurricane Hunter aircraft got to say here real soon. To see how that's going to go and see if that pressure is going to start the significant fall there or not. So let's check some of these Let's go back to these rainfall totals again here. Storm total preset. Woo! Look at that. Man, that's some major stuff. That's some major stuff going up there. Let's see here. 9.5 inches. Look at that. Wow. 9.5 inches just there on the beach there south of Tampa. There's my alert tone. Bing. There it goes. Look at that. That's awesome. Hey, if you guys are new to the channel and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for, man? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you could. Go ahead and hit that. And please share with your friends. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you got any questions, I'll be more than happy to go ahead and bring you on in there. And Stay Away RT, there you go. Say hi. Good to see you there tonight. Appreciate you checking out the channel here as we're watching our next tropical system. And I'm telling you, folks, here over the next month, it's going to get very, very interesting to say the least, because of, we know we got a lot of latent heat out in the Atlantic, and we've just been talking about this above normal hurricane season that we're going to have for this year. And it's going to continue to be a problem. The peak of the hurricane season is around September the 10th. So we're about 5 weeks from the pinnacle of the hurricane season. So things are really going to get cranking and really get going here over the next few weeks. The 12Z model was kicking out another storm behind this one, although it didn't look all that bad. It looked like another tropical storm potentially in the same general neighborhood of what we're seeing it right now. But again, that's a little bit ways out. Let's get through Debby first, and we'll see how this is going to work out with this system here. But yeah, that's just getting interesting to see that there. Let's check out the satellite image. Let's go over to the satellite IR. Let's take a look at this. I'm losing my visible, obviously, because the sunlight's getting a little low. So let's go to the long wave infrared here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see that blow up a thunderstorm. See that nice blow up there? Wow, it shows up nice on the infrared, right through there. Circulation, which is clearly off from where the official track is. I think that track's going to shift to the right on the next update. I don't see why it wouldn't. Here's one of the cameras that are out there right now. Gust speeds up to 53 miles per hour. Sustained winds 40 miles per hour. So we got tropical storm force winds. Sea level pressure 29.58. So that's obviously a little bit of ways from the center of circulation. And in fact, that is, what's the distance there? Oh, sorry, not that one. I hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong one. Let's do that one. Let's clear that out of here. Let's drop that out. Go to here. That is 45 miles. That's 45 miles from the center of circulation there. So we're getting tropical storm force winds about 45 miles that are clearly showing up there from that center of circulation. So I think that next update is really going to be something that's going to be really important to see if that pressure is falling. I also think that track is going to shift. I think what you're going to see on the next advisory, this track's going to shift this way. If it follows that. That's the track based off the fact that the center of circulation has reformed to the east from the initial update that was set there at the 8 o'clock advisory, or the 5 o'clock advisory. We're waiting on the 8. Getting ahead of myself there. Anyway, all right, let's go back to single sat mode here. And obviously, once this gets further north, it'll be the Tampa radar. The Tallahassee radar will be the one I'll switch over to as this gets further north. That'll be the one I'll be using, obviously, for tomorrow morning as this continues to move off toward the north. Looks like that other tornado warning has expired. That's good news on that one. But we will definitely get some more stuff here. I do have, let's see here. There's some of the storm reports there. Let me put this up here. Let me do my interactive mode on this here. 61 mile per hour winds, 51 mile per hour winds, 52. So I want to go ahead and show you this. Let me zoom in a little bit closer before I switch this over. Oops, switch this back a little bit. There we go. This is some of the storm reports here. We'll go ahead and show you some of this. Fishing Pier had a wind gust of 52, 58. Mesonet there, Egmont Channel, 51 there, and 61 mile per hour winds there, right along the coastline. So some pretty impressive winds being detected there. Storm surge flooding reported in Oldsmar. Public reported a screen capture of a webcam showing a water spout, which we reported that was earlier. We had another spotter funnel cloud down here to the south. So everything's been right along the coast. That's been the main area of concern right now with the system kind of scraping along the east coast there of Florida. I'm sure MacDill Air Force Base is kind of locked down there. I like MacDill. Anyone ever been to MacDill Air Force Base? That's for sure. It sure does, Michael. It sure does, showing all the signs of maturing system. Absolutely, we're seeing that for tonight. And but like I said, I think by the time it gets what they call a central dense overcast, an actual core around that eye, a center of circulation, I think it's going to run out of real estate and it's going to move on inland. So I don't think we're going to see a major hurricane with this thing. One thing I definitely need to do for my future stuff and is to make sure that I can actually, use more of the graphics here for the wall. And that will include when I'm using this slide here. Because like I said, I have this, but I don't have the, I don't have any other slide to go to. I only have this one that I can go to right now. And I also am learning that although I'm using the display window here, it's only going to show the studio mode one and not the other one. So whenever I'm using this, I got to make sure I put it into the right mode when I'm using it. But I need to do more of that. So, but man, I love that clock down clicker. I really do. That thing is sweet. I do love it. I love it. So anyway, hey, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content. Please leave a comment down below if you got a question or something down below. And tell me what you think. And please give me a thumbs up. Always like the thumbs up. The likes, the thumbs up, the subscriber stuff, all that helps with the YouTube algorithm, as I know it's kind of probably a little crowded out there. I'm sure it's going to be crowded tomorrow morning too, especially getting toward landfall with the system. But we'll do the best I can. We'll watch the storm chasers here. And I'm sure a lot of these guys which are down. Oh, we dropped off. OBS dropped off there for a second. Let's see if it reconnects. That reconnected. Sorry about that. Had a little glitch there in the old OBS studio. I see we got Connor's way up there. He's up near Perry. He's not broadcasting right now. We'll see how he does a little bit later. So we got a new warning. It just came out. Okay, I say my wife's talking to my daughter right now. Anyhow, okay. Let's see. See these spaghetti. I want to see if these spaghetti plots have updated here real quick. Let me get this updated real quick. Let's double check the spaghetti plots. Yeah, still showing that. Let me double check this. I want to double check this real quick too. Let's see. Michaels. Just want to double check and see if this has not been up. I don't think it has. I'm just double checking this real quick. I don't think it has, but incense. Nope, that's still that is the 12Z, isn't it? Yep, that's the GFS ensemble. Yep, that's still the same. I was just double checking this because it's still showing that back, wobbling back forth, going back in. That's still showing up very well there. As it's going to really get stuck there before it finally takes off. But it's going to sit across southeast Georgia. That's the real headache, man. That's going to be a real problem. I'm going to be simulcast tomorrow on Facebook too tomorrow as well. I got to do that. And let's see here. We'll check in here. I'm double checking my. Let's see if the Hurricane Hunter. No, they're still just inbound. Yep, they're just sitting out there right now. They're up on the coast, so they're just heading on out there right now. So I'll be interested to see here in the next hour or two exactly to see what the NOAA 2 aircraft, which is out, they're going to be heading out there to see what exactly the new pressure is going to solve. My guess is the pressure is going to come down a little bit. So there's the Hurricane Hunter aircraft heading out that center of circulation, just kind of going out there right now. So we'll see what it shows when it gets out there. We'll see if it's seen it. My guess is there's probably going to see a pressure drop just based off the fact that that's what the radar is indicating here, where the circulation center, that's to the right of the track, significantly so. And I bet that's probably a little bit of a surprise for the folks from the National Hurricane Center, the fact to see that center of circulation that far displaced from the forecast track that just came out. It wasn't that long ago. It was at the 5 o'clock advisory. We're talking the last couple hours. This thing really reformed its center of circulation just to the right there of the main area. So interesting that occurred. Seen it before. I mean, it's nothing that's not thing out of the ordinary, and it has happened before. Flight level winds are pretty impressive already. Yeah, the last vortex message, they were getting close to hurricane strength out. That's for sure. That's why I'm looking forward to that new vortex message when it comes in, to see exactly what those flight level winds are doing. And this thing's far enough offshore. Even when I look at the base velocity winds here, we can scan some of these to get an idea what some of these winds are doing here. So 62, 65, 68, that whole yellow area there is when there's a 71, 68, 70. So we're just below hurricane force, even a good ways from that center of circulation. And you can see I'm just kind of scanning some of these winds here. 71 mile per hour wind, 71, 65. So that does line up with what some of the storm reports were showing a little while ago. Was absolutely seeing that for sure. Let me turn that thing off there real quick. So yeah, you're getting 65 mile per hour winds is lining up with what the radar is showing us. So maybe we go to 70 mile per hour winds on the next update. I think by 11 for sure it'll be 70. But sometime tonight it'll become a hurricane. I don't think there's any doubts about that. I will say, looking at the radar here in the last few images, it does appear to maybe slow down a little bit. But that clear center of circulation is right there. That band that looked like it was going to be like an eye wall form, maybe it's kind of decreased a little bit there, but. Man, how many miles does that displace? Let me double check. I want to check that real quick. How much of a displacement are we talking about? We're talking 28 mile difference. 28 mile difference. That's significant. That's really impressive there. Hey, if you're new to the channel right now, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you're alerted. We're doing wall-to-wall coverage tomorrow morning on the landfall of this thing. Give you an opportunity to get those shorts. I do these 1 minute updated hurricane shorts that you can kind of get in your feed, and you can watch that, get a quick update, bada bing, bada boom. But also, leave me a comment down below. If you got a question, as always, go ahead and post it down below. And if give you a thumbs up too. I know folks kind of come in and come out. I haven't even looked at what have we been averaging here today, watch wise. About 7 minutes. That's not bad. 7 minutes. Viewing time, not bad there at all. And I tell you, I'm loving my chat now. Tomorrow I will be broadcasting on both the Facebook channel as well as, I'm sorry, I hit my microphone there, Facebook channel as well as on the YouTube channel. So we'll be streaming on both platforms tomorrow morning when we're doing that. So I'll be watching both chats significantly on both. So we will be doing that for there. So, hey, if you're new to the channel, if you don't know who I am, my name is Greg, by the way. I am a former TV meteorologist as well as a retired Army officer. And this here is my little channel. And we kind of trying to do some good stuff here as we get a little bit closer. Everyone watching should have liked the presentation already. Hey, there you go, Mike, from your ears to God to everybody else. Yes, everybody should go ahead and give me a thumbs up there, What time? Okay, tomorrow's stream time. Right now, I've got it scheduled for 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm planning to go on right into the afternoon. So I'm planning on at least doing 6-7 hours of coverage, going right through the afternoon as this thing's making landfall. Going to be watching those rainfall totals, especially see what kind of power outages do this. Right now, it's just been heavy rains and coastal problems have been on the west coast of the Florida peninsula there, especially there in Tampa. That's been the real problem here for today. But 0900 military time, little military lingo. Yes, Eastern time tomorrow. I've actually got it already scheduled. If you go out to the platform, you'll see it. It's there. The internet better behave tomorrow. It's dropped me off a couple times tonight. I see I'm back up again. I don't know why it's doing that. Always be a little channel that could. Amen, Kova. You're lying. You ain't lying about that, man. We're a little channel that could. Absolutely. You know, it's oh, you know, it's what's interesting. My wife's sitting there talking to my daughter on the phone, and she's telling him she's glad I got great hair and I'm not bald. Yes, I'm not bald. I've got a good set of hair. My mama gave me a good set of hair. I'm not bald. Anyway, oh, we got new flood warning here along the coastal areas. That's on the opposite side of the state here. Oh, this is a thunderstorm warning. Oh, my bad. This is for northeastern Brevard County and for east central Florida. It was located over St. Patrick's Shores or Satellite Beach, moving north at 30. So they're getting raked. That's some of the outer bands there. I see a storm report here, also reporting 50-mile-per-hour winds. How long ago was this? 4:30. That was already this afternoon. My bad. That's some pretty good storms there, raking the Cape. So that's where they launched the Falcon 9 rockets and where the space shuttle launched. That's when that area right near the Cape Canaveral, the space coast, as we say, right in that area. But look how far away from the outer band is from the center of circulation there. So you're talking about, let's do a little distance read here. We're talking, oops, turn that back on. Let's see. That warning is approximately, just for your edification here, 200 miles from the center of circulation. And so one of those outer bands, 200 miles from the center of circulation. That's what we're getting there with that severe weather that's raking the west coast or the east coast as well as the west coast of Florida right now. So I'm watching I keep going back to the Hurricane Hunter aircraft because I want to see, keep looking out. They're getting closer. They are getting closer. They're getting a little bit closer out there. You see that's kind of updated. And I'm waiting for, this is the NOAA 2 aircraft out there to kind of see what that next sounding is going to be, because it's 7:04. My guess is we only got an hour to the next update, and the new update's going to shift it to the right, and I'm waiting to see what the pressure is going to be on that 8 o'clock advisory. That pressure is going to drop off. I think if I take a bulk, probably 989, 988. I think it'll be down at least 3 or 4 millibars. And I'm only judging that off what I'm seeing as far as the radar signature of the storm, but that would not shock me in the least to see that. So anyhow, but yeah, it's the center of circulation ain't nowhere near that where that track is. I'll tell you that. Definitely not seeing that. Let me go back to this. Let me check this out a little bit. Let's see here. 55-mile-per-hour winds. I keep checking this buoy out here. What's interesting, you see the buoy goes down. It goes down. It's because it goes into the water and comes back up. But air temperature 81 degrees. Doesn't have water temperature on that one, on that particular buoy. I tell you what stinks is that over time, a lot of our buoys out in the Gulf have been taken out by tropical systems, and they haven't fixed them. They haven't put new ones in place. They haven't fixed them, which just kind of stinks because those buoys do serve a purpose to kind of show what's going on out there. But unfortunately, over time, you tend to lose these, and they just don't replace them. I guess government money can only go so far, I guess. So, oh, you know what? I never did start my clock, man. I gotta remember to do that. Let's see. Oh, I got the down button here. That's what I got to remember to do. There he goes. There he goes. See, got to get used to doing this whole thing with this new remote. So, anyway, I know I'm past my view, so I'm going to go ahead and start this right now. Hey, if you're new to the channel and you've not subscribed, please consider it. It'd be an honor and a pleasure to be one of your many weather geek, weather nerd YouTube channels out there. So just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, obviously be alerted on any content being posted. Leave me a comment down below if you got a question or something down below. And as always, leave me a big thumbs up there. Helps with the YouTube algorithm as folks kind of come in and come out for the coverage. We're kind of testing some of this stuff here. I really got to update some graphics tonight. I'm not going to go too late tonight, but we're going to keep going here at least through the 8 o'clock advisory. I want to see what goes on with that. And then I got to fix some of my headers up here, for example, on some of my severe weather stuff have not been updated. And that's my fault. I've been kicking that can down the road. I've got the weather wall up. I got my clock up. I still need to paint my wall, which I have not done yet. I'm using kind of a green chroma key blanket up on that wall. But I've got the paint. I bought it. I've just been lazy. I haven't painted it yet. So anyway, we're doing pretty good there. So again, we were talking about how this storm system, we think as we go through tonight, is going to strengthen potentially. It's got good organization. And one of the things that's going to fuel this thing is the fact that we've got some extremely warm water temperatures. I'm not sure why some of these are not reporting. Some of these have gone down. I'm not exactly sure why, but I do see at least one up there in Appalachian Coast. The water temperatures up here are running 86, 87 degrees. So they're running very, very warm. And that's that warm weather, that warm fuel that's going to fuel the fire here to kind of get that going. So with plenty of warm water there. Again, the only problem is it's just going to run out of space before I think it becomes too big of an issue there. If this thing was further out, or if it was moving a little bit slower, then I'd probably be a little more concerned on this thing potentially becoming more than just a Category 1 hurricane. Because I think Cat 1's what we're going to get. Probably about 80, 85 mile per hour winds at landfall. Wife was asking if she could pop some popcorn. I say, sure, knock yourself out. She likes the popcorn. We like the popcorn too. So anyhow. Let's see, this is all the 18. I don't know why. I've got to change out my clear mode on that. That down arrow is messing me up because I used to go over here and I hit the, it's supposed to clear on my down arrow and it's not doing it. So I got to figure out what is going on with that thing. I'll look at, that's on my to-do list. I'll write that down up here. Tell you though, folks, I'm telling you, anybody in the Panhandle, from say Madison, Live Oak, Lake City, Jacksonville, Kings Island, Brunswick, going up toward Savannah, Hinesville, Fort Stewart, Georgetown, Beaufort, Charleston, anywhere up along that coastline, man, I'm telling you, this thing is going to be a pain in the neck because of the speed it's moving here. These are the plot points, 85 mile per hour winds, 105 mile per hour winds. This is for 2 o'clock in the morning. And then it shows it up here, 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow up here. So you kind of can extrapolate a landfall probably, sometime around 11, 12 o'clock tomorrow. And thank you for those subscribers, by the way. Thank you very much. It'd be nice to get those two things actually lined up there. I do appreciate that. See, what happens when you're doing a channel, if you don't update that thing every day, you'll bleed off followers like crazy. It's just part of the nature. My little updates that I put on daily, the 1 minute updates that I put in the shorts, that kind of helps get, and thank you again for that new subscriber. I appreciate that. That gets us back to only 13 from our all-time high, which is 4113. So thank you for those new subscribers. But if you don't do stuff daily, you'll bleed them off, and then you try to beat it up. Oh, by the way, for all you folks who are just who are now getting, hey, D, hey, Lake City, welcome, D, welcome to the channel there from Lake City. Yeah, you need to be careful there in Lake City. I'm telling you, a lot of heavy rains in your neighborhood. Watch out for that flooding. And by the way, for those who just subscribed, we are going to be doing a weather radio giveaway when I get to 5,000. So we got another 900 to get, and hopefully we get the 900 before the end of the hurricane season, because I've got 8 NOAA weather radios that I'm going to be giving away once we get to 5,000. It's like, I'm not going to keep anybody. And thank you for that new subscriber. Thank you very much. And there you go. You are now subscribed to win a free NOAA weather radio. These are the official Midland radios. They're pretty nice, pretty good to have. Put them in your house. Plug it in, ready to go, especially at nighttime. That's when you want to be most prepared for severe weather. So for those of you guys, those last 4 folks who just subscribed to the channel, thank you for coming on board here. And again, you'll have the possibility to win that radio when we get the 899 more that we need to get. But I do appreciate that. Yeah, D says, just got fuel for the generator. I don't know if we're going to see a tremendous amount of power outages here. But I think, again, the flooding's my major concern. That really is. That's my big concern with the system as it's moving northward. Let me go back out here to the hurricane. I keep checking the hurricane hunters because I'm checking to see how close they're getting. All right, they're getting in the circulation center right now. They're getting pretty close. And there's my alert tone, man. I love it. I so love that. Hey, again, thank you for the new subscribers. We just added 4 new subscribers to the channel. If you're passing through the channel, welcome to the Weather Nerds channel. I'm your host, Greg Majeski, your one and only true weather nerd and weather geek here. We're going to be doing some coverage here tonight for a couple hours. Then we're going to be back again 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to track the landfall of this system through tomorrow morning and probably going into the afternoon hours. And we're really going to be paying a very close attention to isolated tornadoes. That's a possibility, but also the flooding threat. That is going to be the real big pain in the neck on this thing as this thing moves and heads up toward the north. That's going to be the biggest problem with this system as it heads to the north. So let me check the latest on the rainfall totals here on the HRR. Let me make sure I got the latest on here. 21Z, yep, that's all the way up there. So let's show you this real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go back to 18Z. We're still a couple hours from the 0Z coming in. So this is the going out 48 hours from here. And some of these rainfall totals are very impressive. We're looking at localized amounts of 10 inches. I think 10 inches is probably going to be standard for a lot of folks. But where we get these bands that kind of keep training over the same ground, we're going to see localized amounts even higher than that. And the areas of real concern is this thing moves into southeast Georgia, it's going to slow down. There's a couple indications where the steering currents may collapse and may do a loop-to-loop, may wobble a little bit. The American GFS model's been hitting on this. We could see rainfall amounts pushing 20 inches plus before this thing clears on out. That's the big key here is the flooding. Yes, you're going to have some storm surge in parts of Florida there, but again, we're talking no man's land. There's not a whole lot of signal. It's not like it's heading over toward Panama City Beach where they got a lot of development in there. We don't have that on that portion of the coast here. We just don't have this up here if we get a landfall up in here. So we've got, I forget there was a storm last year, went in the same area. I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember which storm it was last year. Went in the same area. But if you wanted a landfalling hurricane, that's where you wanted to go. But Perry's going to be a pretty problematic. They'll probably have some pretty good power outages there along Perry as this thing's moving inland here. Again, that's still a few hours away before we see that. But definitely seeing something. Look, I mean, you start to see. Look again. You got that. There's the center circulation right there, showing up so nicely. But you see my problem again. This is the official forecast track is over here. This is where they said it was at the 5 o'clock advisory. We got a little displacement here, folks. These things are not lining up. We had a reorganization of the center that displaced it some 30 miles or 25 to 30 miles away from where the initial setup was at. That's what happened. Does happen sometimes. Does occur. It's not that unusual. It does happen, especially when you got a system that's trying to just get itself organized. Now, what this means is that the one thing I've been seeing on the radar signature is it's getting much more symmetrical looking. When I say symmetrical, what that means it's a little more balanced. Where most of the day today, everything's been kind of on the right side of the center of circulation. Now we're kind of getting precipitation that's kind of wrapping on the left side or the east side or the west side of the storm. Now keep in mind, the right side of the storm is always going to be your strongest. That's where the strongest winds are going to be. Right side's also where your biggest storm surge is going to be. So that's where that's going to as it moves up toward the north. But Gainesville is going to get hit with some heavy rains. Jacksonville, Brunswick. I'm telling you, anywhere where it turns. And what I'm going to watch here tonight, especially going into tomorrow morning, is when does it start making that turn to the northeast? It's going around the periphery of the high pressure ridge. There's a weak troughiness that's kind of coming up. It's going to kind of pull it, it's pulling it. But then that trough quickly moves on out. That's why there's some indications that the steering currents may collapse and this thing may slow down and spin around for a little while. We'll see how that works out. But again, it's we'll see how this goes. I think this, for the most part, this will behave pretty well. You see the track again is which it's going to have to shift to the right here a little bit, but you see where it goes this way, takes a right turn, slows down, then kind of goes this way, and then eventually just kind of pulls on out. But it's really going to slow down. This is a couple days for it to move through this area. It is quite a bit. So we're going to see that slow down a little bit tonight. and that's going to be everything to the right of that center of circulation when it's going to pull that moisture, out of the Gulf or even off the Atlantic. That's going to cause that significant flooding threat for those areas. So I will make a couple more updated graphics I'm going to have. I'll probably post them what the National Hurricane Center. I need to get them in here as well to get that going. So, but we definitely got a storm that's organizing, that's for sure. A radar signature clearly showing a much, much healthier system than what we were looking at, hell, just an hour ago. I mean, really, it looked definitely seeing some much improved looking system there. I keep going to the Hurricane Hunter graphic. I keep going back to this because they are flying out there right now, and they have not dropped the sound yet. I keep looking for that vortex message to see if they've got a new pressure reading. Last pressure reading was 992, and so I think it's going to drop off there a little bit as we go through time there. So that is, again, I'll show you the aircraft real quick. Let me show you that real quick. This is updated here. Let's update that real quick. My bad. That's the NOAA plane out there right now. Let's put that in update. There it goes. So you see, we're just now getting around that center of circulation as the aircraft is heading on out there to check and see what is going on with Debby, as I think we're going to see the pressure falling on that. So, hey, we just hit that ding, which means it's time to say subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we're going to be doing coverage here for another couple hours. Then we're going to be back tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock. And we're going to do coverage throughout the landfall for tomorrow, which looks like around maybe noon, maybe 11, 12 o'clock will be noon for landfall. And then we'll be looking at, see what kind of rains we get spreading across North Florida, going into Georgia with this system. So if you'd like to get a part of that, please subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. That also helps if you're just kind of passing through. Give me a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm, helps invite new people here to the coverage that we're doing here for tonight. And kind of help us kind of close the gap. We still got about 12 away from our all-time high. We bled off some followers there, which happens when the weather was kind of quiet. Wasn't a whole lot going on, but we've slowly been getting it back up there. And we're making the run toward 5,000. 5,000 is the goal we hope to get to by the end of the year. I kind of like to get there by 1 October. 1 October will be officially my 1 year mark of doing this YouTube channel. And to get 5,000 in your first year, I think that's not too bad of an accomplishment. That's not looking too bad at all. So do you think I can expect, I got a question here from Samantha, Point St. Lucie. You're going to get a little bit of stuff there at Point St. Lucie. Absolutely. You're going to get some of that out there. Let me get back over to my radar here. Trying to remember some stuff here. Hold on one second as I'm checking something here. Using all my avenues. Got to use the phone. Got to look at all that stuff here. So, yeah, Port St. Lucie, you guys are getting raked right now, obviously, from some of the stuff on the other side. So, you're seeing some of these outer bands out here. So, you still got some stuff here coming up from the south, kind of rotating around the periphery of this. So, you're going to see some brief heavy rains, some gusty winds with this, but it shouldn't be too bad where you're at. Obviously, you're way far away from that center of circulation. So Port St. Lucie, just watch out for some of the brief tropical downpours and stuff that's coming your way here for tonight there, Samantha. But you'll be okay. You'll be all right. But thank you for your question. I do love that. That's a nice little feature. A little chat ninja thing I downloaded into my OBS software to be able to pull up the individual chats and answer the questions. Kind of goes with the whole mantra of your own personal weatherman. That's for sure. All righty. Oh, you are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for asking the question. Thank you very much. Check out see what some of these chasers are doing. They had pulled over here to the side. Ooh, not looking too bad there. But a lot of these chasers, they're gonna get up in here heading for tomorrow morning. That's for sure. That's where they're gonna be. Oh, like I said, I keep going back to trying to check if the new vortex message is coming in. That's what I'm monitoring. The new update's about 30 minutes away, folks. We're about 30 minutes away from the new update. from the National Hurricane Center to give us that 8 o'clock advisory to see what we got going on there with our storm here. But looking much better on the radar representation there. Let's look at. We haven't done the satellite update in a little while. Let's take a look at the satellite. Let's look at the satellite real quick. I want to look at the long wave IR here. Let's see how this is looking. Again, this is your infrared imagery where you're looking at when you see those blues blowing up like that. Those are your intense thunderstorms. And you clearly see we're getting nice blow up of these intense thunderstorms across the center of circulation. We don't have a true CDO. That's a central dense overcast. We get a nice strong cluster of storms around an eye or center of circulation. We're not there yet on that. What I think may happen, we may get something close to one forming before we get to landfall, just because of how warm the water temperatures are. You typically will see a diurnal impact on a hurricane, especially at night. When that happens, you can get a burst of intensification. So right now, our 65-mile-per-hour winds are expected to go up by at least another 20 miles per hour. Right now, the National Hurricane Center is saying 85-mile-per-hour winds at landfall. I think that's pretty reasonable. But I've also seen circumstances where it can maybe a little bit stronger than that sometimes, if it happens fast enough, if the eye is small enough, especially with a smaller eye. A larger eye takes a little bit longer. A smaller eye can strengthen a little faster. Let's go back over to the radar mode here. Get back over to radar here. And you got, because it looks like it's trying to get an eye forming there, folks. You can see that. It's trying to get one forming right in here. And let's do a longer loop on this one. Let's go back 50 frames here. I'm going to go back 50 frames here and kind of watch this thing as it's kind of developed there. So we can go back the last 50 frames here, and you kind of get an idea of how this thing has been evolving. And you could clearly see on the radar signature this thing's gotten better organized. Definitely seeing a much more symmetrical looking system. Seeing more storms on the northwest, south side of the system as it's trying to get pulling that energy in. Again, you got to think of a hurricane as one big giant heat engine. So it's bringing all that warm air at the surface and it's circulating in. You think of a skater, right? You know, a skater with its arms out, and as soon as it pulls the arms in, it gets a little faster with that centrifugal force. And that's what we're seeing there with that right there. So, hey, if you're new to the channel, that was my countdown there. Just to remind me that if you've not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hey, it's real simple. Hit that little thing, got your phone up there. Just hit that little subscribe button there on your phone. And if you got your little, if you're on the remote TV, just get your remote and just go, okay, I'll hit the subscribe button. Do it on the TV. That's what I do. I do it on my little TV. I do it all the time. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Helps with the algorithm as you bring in new people. People come in, people come out. And if you got a question like Samantha did, please post it down in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer your question. And as we watch this system here for tonight, the thing I'll be watching here for tomorrow are going to be the cameras, especially there in Panama City Beach, St. George Island. I think it's going to be one to watch for tomorrow for sure. With the surf conditions will probably go down there. It doesn't look too bad there at St. George right now. But I think that's going to go downhill a little bit later, especially heading in toward tomorrow morning. Siesta Key, that they've been getting raked with some of the, and it's still some rough seas down toward Key West, and it's well away from the center of circulation there right now. So be watching those locations, and of course watch the storm chasers too, as the storm chasers become hurricane chasers as they get down there and broadcast some of the stuff as well. So I got to remember to hit my play button there. Boop, boop, boop. So there it is. Yep. Boy, come on, guys. What's drop sound? I keep looking for the drop sound, but they haven't done it yet. Drop sound, that's that little device that they drop out of the Hurricane aircraft that kind of gives you all the measurements as it goes down. It gives you what's called a vortex message. And I'm still waiting on the vortex message. It hasn't come in yet. Still checking on it. I want to double check my other phone because I like to check multiple ports here. And double check here and see if we've got anything. I don't think we have. Let's see here. Vortex. I'm just checking the other site. NHC. There it goes. Nope, that's the old one. Still waiting on a new one. Still waiting on a new one. I just double checking. Sometimes it comes in when you're not looking. Let's check some of these rainfall totals. We haven't looked at this in a hot minute. Ooh, look at these storm totals here. This is your heavy rainfall. Again, that's going to be the big concern for the storm, folks, is going to be the heavy rain. I'm telling you. Historic, catastrophic, those are the words that the Weather Service office has been throwing around with this thing. That is for sure. Look at it here in St. Petersburg now. I haven't checked this in a little while. It's gone up almost 2 inches in the last hour. 8:05. So Tampa is a little bit further away. These heavier bands have not been there. It's about 3-4 inches there in Tampa. So not too bad in Tampa. But over on St. Petersburg, it's been really bad. And these areas up here near Palm, Harbor, Clearwater, Largo, all these are going to see significant rises as this heavier rain is coming up. It's paralleling that eye. So some of these readings down here to the south, which are getting over 10 inches now. There's a 10 inches right there. That's going to track over this area. I do highly believe we'll have 10 to 12 inches of rain here in this area here in the next 2 or 3 hours for sure, as that band is kind of just training over that same area. Looks like they're getting a little bit of a break right there. Just a little bit of a break. Kind of in between the bands. They're getting a little bit of a break. See a little bit of a break in between the bands there. Oops. Turn that off. Ooh, still got 60 minutes on that warning over there. Da 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 da. Tell you the big thing that's been going on. I know we've been talking about the fact that we were expecting a very busy hurricane season, and it was being subdued. A lot of this, heck, we just 3 days ago we had Saharan dust. That was actually over the southeast. We actually over the south. Now it's completely washed out. Not seeing anything there, and still seeing some Saharan dust out there, but it's starting to thin out. And I think that'll continue to go. So what that means, those tropical waves are going to get a lot more vigorating there as we go into the next few days. So that's going to get a little bit better. So that's been the big factor that's kind of held our tropical activity at bay, has been that Saharan dust. The Saharan dust has been dry. I did a report on earlier in the season saying that was kind of the wild card, even though we had every indication to show that we were going to have a very active season, that the Saharan dust, especially to the middle of summer, could be an inhibitor, and it actually was for a lot of July. Going into August now, starting to see it break down, but these storms are still flaring up fairly close to the Gulf of Mexico, which is typically a June type thing to see this kind of happening. So that we're still got some inhibition out in the main Atlantic right now, but I think that's going to be dying down. I think that's going to be trending downward as we go deeper into summer. The main reason has been there's been some upwelling of some cooler water in the Atlantic, just like La Nina is in the Pacific. You get that in the Atlantic as well. And the temperature differential was giving us some very strong winds that were blowing some of that Saharan dust now. But now that we've gotten deeper into summer, that temperature differential starts to subside because it heats up a little more, regardless of the upwelling. So that should allow more tropical waves to kind of make its way across. Boom. Check the strikes around there. I'm not seeing a whole lot. My lightning data is on. I'm not seeing a whole lot there, Chris. My lightning data is on. So you can see the lightning out here. You see the lightning in here around this area on the west coast of Florida. But the center is not showing any eyes in it. There's a little lightning in here around Tampa. But the lightning data is on. So, again, kind of going over to the wall here real quick. Again, you can see, oops, I'm sorry. Let me get this back in studio mode. Got to go back to studio mode so I can see myself. There you go. All right, so there's a little bit of lightning here Ooh, dropped my glasses there. Dropped my glasses. So it's got a little lightning here, and there's some lightning you see over here with the severe thunderstorm warning over here. So we got this over that way. The center of circulation right here. We're not getting any lightning around there, but you are correct that when we do start seeing lightning around that eye, that could be also an indication of a storm system where the pressure is dropping rapidly and we're getting some rapid intensification. But we're not getting any lightning that's showing up in that eye just yet. But look how much better the circulation center is here. We're getting some pretty good wraps. We're starting to see that wraparound moisture around here again. But I'm really interested to see. We got about 25 more minutes here on the new update to see if this track shifts, because this is where the 5 o'clock advisory was. I mean, this is a clear big difference here. So this track's got to move. It's got to move to the right. It has to. I don't see how it can't. And this is like the 2 a.m. position. So a couple things I see is that this is displaced off, and I don't know if we're going to be that far north by 2 o'clock. I think it's slowing down a little bit. So I think we're going to see a movement to the right a little bit, and I think we may see maybe a track that slows it down just a little bit. Just a little. We'll see how that works out when the new advisor comes. And thank you for that new subscriber, by the way. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Not too many YouTubers have their own weather wall, and I'm glad I got one to be able to kind of interact with you guys. I personally feel better doing it because I worked in TV and I did this a lot. So I do like to have my own little weather wall here to kind of do this and kind of explain things. Makes it a little more personal as well. So we got a new tornado warning there in Union County. I want to go ahead and see that. I just saw that pop up on my crawl down below. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let me switch back over to my Doppler radar here. Let's go back over here. Let's check this out real quick. I saw a new tornado warning came out. Where is it? Where are you? I saw a new warning came out. It was in Florida. I saw it on the crawl. Oh, there it is. Way up here to the north. There it is. I just saw it. It's a small one. And which is not unusual, by the way. You're going to get these kind of things when you get these kind of crawls. So there's a radar indicated. This is a short one, too. Severe thunderstorm warning. This came out 3 minutes ago. Capable producing a tornado was located over Worthington Springs, moving northwest, not northeast, northwest at 35 miles per hour. So typically when we're talking about tornadoes, and we do have a tornado watch box, obviously, for this area, is the fact that they're short-lived and they don't live very long. But if you're obviously in a mobile home or something like that, that can cause some damage, some roof damage, and cause some problems for you for sure, some power outages. We've had probably about a half dozen tornado warnings so far here for today, and those will continue up until landfall. When the eye makes landfall and you get that increased friction with that circulation center, we'll see some additional warnings that'll come up, as we saw with Beryl, which was just through the roof, crazy with the number of warnings we had with Beryl. Hopefully we won't see a repeat of that for sure. There's another tornado warning just came out with that same cell. Let's go back over here. This just came out. You saw that live. Radar indicated. These are all short-lived ones, by the way. Southwestern Union County goes until 7:45. This just came out. A storm producing a tornado was located over Worthington Springs. So they piggybacked that on the other one. It just came out. Let's look at the velocity mode on this. Let's see if we can actually see then there. Oh, yeah, you can see that. There it is. Yeah, that's showing up pretty nice there. Yeah, it's showing up very nice. There it is right there. I see that yellow and the green in there, very well represented. So you can see that circulation there. If I go there, it looks like getting over toward Miller. You see all those little roads in there. So that's a residential area. And let me shorten this. I'm sorry, I got this on the old one. Let's make that back this to 7. I'm sorry. My bad. Please bear with me there. My apologies. Oh, yeah. Went right through the Worthington area. See that? Yep. Went right through Worthington Springs. Now it's going up toward Miller, Brown still. Yeah, but you clearly got that little spin up there. And again, these won't they won't last very long. They'll be short-lived little things, and then they'll move off, and then you'll get some more. But those are those 2 warnings that are up there right now on that severe thunderstorm that's blowing through there. Again, backward, moving from east to west as it's rotating around that center of circulation center. Hey, if you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed, why don't you help me out? just hit that subscribe button if you could. If you could give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate the support. It does help the algorithm a little bit. And leave me a comment. You got a question down below, as Chris did. How long, or she was asking, how long am I going to stream tonight? I'm thinking I'm looking at probably about 9:30, I think. And then I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. I'm going to be back at 9. I want to get a good night's sleep. I want to be ready for landfall for tomorrow, which should be sometime around the noon hour is what I'm thinking right now. So the noon hour, and then I will continue coverage right into the afternoon. So I'm probably looking at about 6-7 hours of coverage tomorrow afternoon, and kind of watching that. And then we'll play it by ear. For tonight, what I'm waiting on here, we should be getting a new update here from the National Hurricane Center, the intermediate advisory. Oh, we got another tornado warning over here. Didn't see that one. Dude, I wasn't paying attention. Got a new warning here. Radar indicated. This one just came out too. Yep, just came out. This is for East Central Brevard County until, this one goes until 8 o'clock. Storm producing a tornado was located near Cocoa Beach, moving north at 30. So that's right near the Space Coast there with that warning. But look how, I tell you, that's what's interesting. I mean, you're talking about, again, I want to show this again. I mean, just again, the whole center of circulation's here, and we got tornado warnings that are some 205 miles from the center of circulation on the outer bands. That's where the greatest spin takes place. So that's what we're seeing with that. We got 3 different tornado. We got 4 tornado warnings out right now, and we got another one here to the south that just came out. So we're getting some active weather here, just firing up here in the last hour or so with these tornadoes. Here's the other one. Just came out. This one just came out. This one's also for central Manatee and northwestern Sarasota. This one goes until 8:15. Thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes located near Gulf Gate Estates, or 9 miles southeast of Sarasota, moving north at 45. So again, it's just going around that center of circulation. And we got 4 different tornado warnings out there for tonight. Most active tornado warning period we've had here so far here for tonight. And I love my new counter. Hats off to my good friend, buddy I used to work with. He helped me get the counter. He's got my, I don't have the severe weather crawl on because I've got the hurricane data going on tonight, but I am standing up. That warning counter does help me, alerts me to know that something's up, and I can go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. So a big thumbs up to my buddy here who helped me out getting that new counter there in place for us. So we're probably about another 10 minutes or so away from a new update. Let me go back to the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. I keep checking back to see, and yep, they're cutting around the circulation. Getting closer, but they're not there yet. They're getting closer. See if that updates real quick for you there. I gotta do it manually. Hold on a second. And I gotta get that up for you. There you go. See, it just made it, now it's heading east, so it's getting around that center of circulation. Should be moving up to the north here shortly. So what they do is they do these crossing patterns across the center of circulation, and then they give you the new stuff there. Hey, Janelle, good to see you. Long time no see. Good to see you there. Welcome to the broadcast tonight. Hey, we only got to get 11 more likes, and I'm back up to where I was before things died off. So we'll try to let's see if we get 11 more likes tonight if we can. If I can get 11 more likes, and then we can go for a new high for tomorrow. So hopefully we get a new 11 more for tonight. The thing I got to remember to do, though, man, I keep forgetting to do this, is I got to hit my countdown button, and I forget to do that. I got the down button, and I got to hit the play button. So this is my countdown clock. For those who watch my previous broadcasts, you know that I bought this clock to do countdown so that when I'm doing my live broadcast, I can remember to do my promotions. I got to do promotions when you're doing the YouTube channel thing because of the way the algorithm works, the way you do the whole thing. So if you're new passing through the channel and you're kind of passing through, because the average turnaround is about 7 minutes. So if you could, just please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd like to be one of your many weather choices in the YouTube universe, if you can hit that. And leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. It really does help with the algorithm. I haven't looked at my counts tonight. I haven't looked at it. We're up to, only 23. nothing too crazy tonight. But we've had pretty steady viewership tonight. It hasn't been too bad. Not too bad at all. I'd like to go back there and just check it. So anyway, we'll go back over here to Radar Omega real quick. They're getting real, waiting for the hurricane hunter. I'm hoping they get that. The thing is that they're just now getting out. They haven't dropped the drop sound yet. They may not get a substantial. I mean, the track's going to change for sure. I'm waiting for that to update because that's going to shift to the east significantly because it's nowhere near the center of circulation. They're about 30 miles displacement there. So, but I'm not seeing a new blow up with thunderstorms either. So, like when I show you the satellite here, let's go over to the satellite here, long wave. This is infrared. Let me loop this again. Again, the higher the cloud tops, you can get a better idea of the thunderstorms. It doesn't look too bad on the infrared. You can see the blow-ups going around that center of circulation. So we're getting a nice little blow-up here of the thunderstorms there. And this buoy out here, let's see, gusts now at 53, wind speeds to 38. That's been pretty steady there. Hey, thank you there. Chris has become a player. Appreciate it, Chris. Thank you. A Brick Tamlin level, yes. Anyone knows Brick Tamlin? That's your anchor man. I'm going to really start to grow that here in time. I also need to start consider doing some of the either the Patreon or maybe doing the donation box thing going. This stuff can get a little expensive, and I pay for a lot of it. So, but I don't mind doing it. I really don't. But I try to get by each piece that I can. A couple more pieces that I do want to get, just to kind of give you an idea. I do want to get a teleprompter. So, like, I've got a nice big monitor on the side when I'm at the wall, but I don't have a monitor to see in front of me. I'm a professional. I've done this a lot of times, so I can actually do it. Hey, Chris, yes, you are part of the family. Yes, welcome to the family. Let's give Chris a round of applause, shall we? Yeah. I probably need to do that. I need to build in my own sound effects. There you go. Hey, Janelle. Yeah, I probably need to get me a sound effect. So when somebody joins the family, I can hit the applause button and put it in there. Actually, I'm getting ready to buy. I think one thing I do want to buy. I found this really neat site. It's got all the different sound effects that I could possibly want, and it's fairly cheap. It's like $70 for a really big library, like swish effects and other little stuff. I definitely may look into see if I can do that. Let's go back over here to the wall real quick. Oop, that's me. Hello. Didn't mean to go to that one. Meant to go to the wall here. There we go. My bad. Get this back playing again here. So you get these spin ups. I do want to show that real quick. Again, we got one tornado warning here. We got one up here. This one just got updated. I'll come to that one in a second. Here's this one. So you get these fans that are rotating. So as these are spinning around that center of circulation, that's called wind shear. The winds are changing and turning with height. So as you go up further in height, you get the spins. So that's why you got all this big tornado watch that's in here for tonight, covering this area. And then you get these individual spin ups of these tornado warnings. Again, the center of circulation is right out here. So you get these spin ups and they'll rotate around that center of circulation. So that's what we're seeing. Oh, look at that. Somebody decided they were going to dislike me. Well, that's nice of them. Hurt my feelings, man. That's not nice. So anyway, this will continue to move up to the north. Like I said, when we got about 15 minutes till that comes on in, and we're going to see this track is the bullseye point, which is here, going to shift over here. We're going to watch that update here in about 20 minutes. So that'll happen here very shortly, and we'll get that going. It's like somebody said, "Oh, you're a goober. I don't want to watch you." It's all right. I unsubscribe me too. Yeah, my wife's asking me if I'm being a nerd. I'm saying, yep, I am. Yeah, someone unsubscribed me, hurt my feelings. I wasn't talking about bald people. Chris was asking, are those weather systems expensive? Well, They're not really, Chris. We'll say that it's just the different subscriptions and stuff. They can be a little expensive, but they're not too bad. Probably Terry, since I refuse to repent. You guys are being funny tonight. So anyway, I just had my countdown clock. Hey, if you're new, you're watching the channel here. We're having a little fun watching our storm here tonight. My name's Greg, by the way. Welcome to the Weather Nerds channel. If this is your first time coming through, hey, appreciate you checking us out. If you could do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Go ahead and hit that. Give me a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. We're a small channel. As you see, we only got about 4,100 people on this channel, so we're kind of small. And the only way we can kind of get people to come in and come out the channel is with new subscribers. You subscribe to the channel, you give a thumbs up on the channel, leave a comment. We've got some pretty good chats going on here tonight. If you got a question, I'd like to pull up your question, kind of answer your question here for tonight. Who's this Observer 777? I have no idea who that Observer guy is, but he's putting some crazy stuff out there. Observer 777, this is a weather channel, man. We're not talking that stuff. Actually, I'm not seeing a whole lot, Chris. I'm not seeing a whole lot of dry air out there. I don't see that. I see a system that's continuing to try to get organized. Let me show you the. Go back over here to the satellite here. I'll show you the water vapor here. I'll show you this. Okay, so the yellow there that you see, that is your dry air. But I'm not seeing it in the core. There's no yellow. There's no yellow in and around that system. So this is all dry air here. This is dry air. All that yellow, that's all that dry air. But there's nothing around this core from a dry air standpoint that's going to cause any problems there. So I think there's nothing that's going to inhibit there. There was some wind shear blowing over this thing earlier, but I'm not even seeing that now. I'm seeing a pretty good outflow off of this thing. Yeah, that was a spammer. I know it was a spammer. I know that you can't get rid of them as much as you'd like to. Spammers. Can't live with them, can't kill them. Personally, spammers drive me a little nuts. Tell you what, I do need to go to the restroom real quick. If you guys give me 2 seconds, I'm going to pull up the big picture here. We'll go to the bathroom, and I need to get something to drink real quick. I'm going to turn my microphone off for a split second. I'll be right back. Hold on, guys. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Had to take care of some business. No, it wasn't that. I had to go pee. I didn't go take a dump. Hey, Kenny, welcome on board there, brother. No, it was not the poop emoji. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, we should have the new data here. Let me double check here. I think we've got it. Let me double check here. I think we may have the new. Let's see. I think we may have it. Let me look this up. I think we got 8 o'clock here. Nope, still showing 5. All right. I was not surprised that we were going to get a little bit of delay for the 8 o'clock. Sometimes they come in a little bit early, but because that Hurricane Hunter aircraft is just now out there, they have not got the vortex message yet because I have not seen it yet. Yeah, they're going right over that. They're going right over it. They're circulating it, but not there just yet. Yes, Janelle, that is for sure. South Carolina is going to get very much so. South Carolina, Charleston, down towards Savannah, Brunswick, southeast Georgia. Of course, that's a lot of swampland down there anyway, but it's going to get really, really bad there. No, it's not my computer. It's definitely not computer. It's my internet that's been causing a little bit. Our internet's been a little last last day or so. I use Comcast, Xfinity. That's who I use as my subscriber, but they've been a little bit of a pain here lately. All right, let's go back up here to Radar Omega here. Let's talk about stuff. Let me get my clock going here again. I got to hit my clock here. Down, boop. So let's go back up here to this one here. Let's go back to velocity mode here. I want to check and look and see. And I'm still seeing something in there. Look at that. There it is. Here, Mason. You got something right through there. Still see something tornadic in there. This is radar indicated. It still goes for those 6 minutes. This is over Providence or 10 miles northwest of Warrington Springs, moving northwest at 30. This warning might get extended, at least looking at that signature there. I think that's very possible. Getting ready to cross the interstate, looks like. Yeah, see that? See it very well. See that? That is your tornado signature, folks. Getting ready to cross Interstate 75. Been up and down that road a lot in years past. Let's see here. All right, got the 8 o'clock advisory. 8 o'clock advisory just came in. We can put this back on. Let's pull out this back to the normal radar here, and I'm going to give you the latest and greatest from the Hurricane Center. Of course, it hasn't plotted just yet, but let's give you the latest on this. So, while I'm giving you this, I will update my winds and stuff. So, top winds are now at 70 miles per hour. So, we're almost up to hurricane strength. So, we're at 70 miles per hour. Moving north at 12, that has not changed. Pressure is still 992 because they haven't done a drop sound yet. I haven't seen it yet, so they couldn't exactly update that. We're at 28.1 north, and we're at 84.1 west. That was a change. Yeah, I had to change to 84.1 because the fact that it was further off to the east. So we're going to see a new plot here very shortly. Radar Omega will catch up with that new plot here in a second. But that's your latest update. Winds now for Debby at 70 miles per hour. So almost a hurricane. We might get there by the 11 o'clock advisory. We'll see. But top winds at 70. Remember, 74 is our hurricane criteria. And the forward speed is still moving at 12. Although, for me, looking at the radar, it looked like it had slowed down a little bit more than that. I thought maybe it would drop to 10. But we'll see. We'll see. Dial up. Yeah, I bet that's a pain with dial up. But loved your country, by the way. We had a great time in Ireland. Yeah. Woo, that's some heavy rains, man. I got to get this graphic in. I don't know how I'm going to get it in, but I got to get it in here eventually. So let me go back to my studio over here. What I need to do here, folks, while I've got you on, again, if you got any questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the chat below. And I need to do a couple things. Let's do this first. I'm going to duplicate this one here. Let's do this here. I'm going to duplicate this slide. I'm going to make a new slide. I want to show you this because I think it's important. I'm going to use the National Hurricane Center graphic here, rain graphic. I'm going to put this in live on the fly while I'm doing this. So bear with me here for a second while I take this thing out and give you a new one here to kind of look at. So I'm doing this creation on the fly. So I want to show what I want to do is I want to show you this graphic from the Hurricane Center, to illustrate the point that I've been talking about here, as far as the rainfall threat, which is significant. So I am making this new graphic here while I'm going along, and I am lining it up, and I'll have it up here just 1 second. So just bear with me for a minute. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Just pulling this thing down. There we go. Okay. All right. So here is the rain graph from the Hurricane Center I wanted to share with you guys. So again, you're looking at, you see where that big bullseye is there, especially up toward the north there. So I want to show you this. I got to delete this out. I have my waterboard back in here again. So you're looking at that area up here toward Charleston and Savannah. This is upwards of 20, we're talking 20 inches of rain in there, folks. We're talking a lot of heavy rain in there. So as this thing tracks up this way, anything to the right of that center, that's where that heavy rain is going to be. And that is just, no kidding, significant heavy rain. And it could be more than that. It's possible. You could not rule that out with this thing, especially if some of the currents on this thing really stalls and it really slows down. And when I say slow down, I'm talking about dropping to like, 5 to 10 miles per hour. If that gets going like that, then you're looking at some serious flooding taking place. So I know that a lot of the teams there in Savannah and Charleston and down toward Brunswick, 12 to 16. I mean, when you see 16 to 20 inches of rain, that's just unbelievable amount of rain. I was working in Albany, Georgia back in 1994 when a tropical storm Alberto, not the one we just had, but the one back then, it dumped 28 inches of rain in Americus, and that was in like just a little over 24 hours. So that alert tone tells you, hey, welcome to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. I'm your host, Greg Majeski, your personal weatherman, and thank you for joining us here for some of this coverage here tonight on our, what's probably going to become Hurricane Debby. If you haven't heard the latest coordinates, they are right above my head. We've got 70-mile-per-hour winds. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider. Just hit that subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up. If you subscribe, leave a thumbs up. It does help with YouTube algorithm. It kind of allows a new audience to kind of come in and come out. And appreciate your support with the channel. Again, every new subscriber helps us get to our goal of 5,000 subscribers. And when you get to 5,000, we're going to give away some free No Weather Radio. So please help us out there and join the channel, man. I do appreciate it. So, man, I love this. It's so cool. Little things, little geeky guy like me gets excited about. And the fact that I've got a timer to remind myself to do my little promotions is pretty cool. Anyway, let's go back over to Radar Omega here. We're going to keep an eye on stuff. Looks like a lot of the warning, still got one tornado warning here down to the south. Down here, this goes for another 14 minutes. Again, this was for central Manatee and north central Sarasota. This was moving north at 45. Yes, Janelle, I love my little toys. Yeah, boys and our toys. We get excited about the little things. To say the least. I do like the look. I really do like the look. When I see my graphic and I see it over there on the monitor, I see this look. I really like it. I think it works. It works for me at least. It looks really, really nice. I really do like that. All right. Oh, so they did update the plot. I think is that the 8 o'clock advisory? Yes, it is. Now, what's interesting, I'm going to say this again. I don't know if there's a displacement between the radar and the plot. It's a little bit closer. They did shift it to the east a little bit, but not a lot. They got the center over here. So they put the center here, but to me, looking at the radar, it looks like it's sitting right there. So there's a little bit of, although it's not quite as big or far apart as what they had before. I think they do that intentionally because they don't want to see it. Oh, it was 30 miles off. Now let's just make it like 10 miles off. Don't want to go that far. Say the least. I'm like, oh boy. But it's at least closer. So the new plot you got here at 2 o'clock in the morning. sitting up here, showing at 85. So by 2 o'clock in the morning, they're suspecting the winds to be up to 85 mile per hour winds, and then moving inland, still showing 85 mile per hour winds. So again, you're looking at a landfall in here sometime tomorrow. Again, I still think the noon hour is looking pretty about right. So, you know, by 9 o'clock in the morning, we're probably going to be sitting right about offshore, right about there. So I'll be watching the landfall for tomorrow. Might start a little earlier. We'll see. I'll play it by ear. I know I got some stuff I got to do in the morning before I can get broadcasting. Yes, I get a little giddy. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit of a geek. That's why it's called the Weather Nerds. It does happen. So you got another warning that came up here. That's still radar indicated. Let's check this cell up here. I was suspecting this one was going to hold true because it looked like it was going to cross the interstate, and it probably already has. Yep. But it has weakened. Yeah, it's starting to weaken now. I see it kind of cross, and boom, there it is. So you see it right here, blows right through there, boom. Yep, definitely opened up. So I don't think that warning is going to extend because it looks like that is definitely weakened. That circulation that was there earlier. So across the interstate near Mason, just south of Mason. So we had something tornadic in there. But again, these tornado systems, they'll be short-lived. They're not going to last too long. One thing I got to do for tomorrow is make sure my crawl down below is updated. Those warnings, I don't think they've changed much. They're probably still about the same. Let's see. Let me look at my interactive stuff here. I'm gonna see if the. Let's see. What are we up to now? The 23 run is coming in right now. 23Z run's coming in. Let's go to. I'm looking at the winds here. Wind speed miles per hour. Here we are. I'll show some wind speeds. Let's go take a look at some winds here. This is the last hourly run here as this comes in. The winds don't look all that bad, at least not on this model. It doesn't. This is the HRR run. So you see it kind of coming in there. And they're getting a lot of. Oh, thank you for that, Janelle. Oh, you became a Brick Tamlin level 2. Yeah, there you go, man. You know, Brick was my favorite, one of my favorite guys on Anchorman. I can relate to him. It was so funny when Anchorman first came out. I was working at a TV station down in Panama City, Florida, and we had his picture like all over the place. we had Brick Tamlin picture sitting in the weather office. So these winds, at least looking at the model, don't look too bad. That is miles per hour. Yeah, it is. That's not bad. Not looking too bad on that one. Let me look over here to the, let's pull up the high res here. Make sure I'm on the right one. All right, here we go. This is the high resolution hurricane model data here. So you see this guy moves inland and then it just kind of wanders there. Look at that. Wow, it really meanders for a couple days, holding on the same. That's why the rainfall amounts are so high. It meanders, goes back out to sea, comes back in, it does a loop-to-loop, and then it comes into through the Carolinas again. Look at that. Wow. That's why that's why the rainfall totals are so high. That's exactly why that's so high. And as long as it stays like that loop-to-loop thing, that's what's going to keep those rainfall totals extremely high. That's why I was showing you there it's going to be that high. There we go. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. I'm your host, Greg Majeski, your personal weatherman. And if you have, can you do me a favor, please? If you're kind of passing through, kind of getting an update before you kind of go to bed for tonight, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Helps with the YouTube algorithm as we kind of got folks coming in and coming out. And if you got a question or anything, just leave it in the chat. We've had a pretty energetic chat going on here for tonight. I'd be more than happy to answer your question. And I'd like to welcome you here to the Weather Nerds family. I do appreciate your coverage here. on the channel. We are going to be doing live coverage for several hours tomorrow, going probably until between 9 o'clock in the morning until probably going into the late afternoon hours as the storm makes landfall, probably sometime around noon the way it's looking on the North Florida coast. And of course, the west coast of Florida is getting pretty much raked pretty good by stuff right now. We got new tornado warnings here down in the south. So let's talk about this here. We got new warnings here. We got a couple of them here. This is for the north central Manatee and southeastern Hillsborough County. So we're talking about the suburbs of Tampa here. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 10 miles northeast of Lakewood Ranch, or 16 miles east of Palmetto, moving north at 45. So these are moving around that center of circulation. As we're getting these outer bands, you get these different feeder bands here that all are capable of producing a tornado. You get that kind of spin up in the atmosphere, the wind shear, changing winds with heights, and that's what's giving us our warnings out there right now. That one to the north is at least expired. That's good news there. Let's see here. Let's see what those winds are doing out here on this buoy. 40 to 53. That really hasn't changed much. I've been going out and checking that buoy here for hours. Yep. Yeah. So although they put the center of circulation here on the radar, I put it right there. That's just a radar signature. Seems a little bit displaced. I will say this much: when we were tracking this barrel earlier, the radar signature and the plots were lining up pretty well. But not with this one. This one's been a little weird. This one has definitely been a little weird. We go back and check my recon, see if we got a new plot. Nope, they're still doing their big circular pattern right now. They've not dropped the vortex message yet. So I keep going back to this. I'll show you this. I want to show you where it's at. Show you how they're doing their circular patterns. So they're doing their crisscross patterns out there. Oops, I'm sorry. Doggone it. I forgot. I got to turn that off when I do that. My bad. There it goes. So you kind of see them. They're doing a circular pattern around that center of circulation right there, but they have not done a drop sound to give me a vortex message. I keep looking for it. Just waiting to see if we're seeing a significant drop off in the pressure in there. Have not. So still looking for that new vortex message, which is pending. It's coming. Just got to wait on it. And I want to stay doing this until the new vortex message comes in. Nope, still not in yet. So because the last sustained flight level winds were 61 knots. And that was several hours ago. So I mean a while back. I mean that was 7-8 hours ago. Been a while. Been a hot minute. So how far north is the wind shear? Well, wind shear goes out from, we're talking about surface winds going up to about 15, 20,000 feet, especially with a tropical system. You're not going to get too high thunderstorm tops. So the winds will be coming out of the south, whereas as it's turning around, as you get the circulation around the center of circulation, the winds will spin upward and be twisting to the left because it's obviously going around that center of circulation. So that's what happens with the wind shear with the tropical system. A little different than say the tornadoes when you get the big thunderstorms out in the plains. A little bit different scenario there. Obviously, and also the tornadoes are going in an opposite direction than what you typically see like in a severe thunderstorm situation out in the plains. We're moving from the southwest to the northeast. These are moving from the southeast to the northwest. It's an opposite direction. It kind of gets you kind of backward. I remember the first time I was covering the landfalling tropical system on air, and I kept getting the directions backward in my head because you're so used to doing it a certain way. It drove me a little crazy. So we got the sun setting down here. It's going to be interesting to see what these cameras are going to look like tomorrow, especially St. George Island. We'll definitely want to see how that looks. It's starting to get the sunset down a little bit. And I need to double check and see if that camera's gone, because that looks awfully like it hasn't really changed much here. That looks, I think the St. George camera must be down, because that looks the same as the one earlier. I was using that camera earlier, but I think it's down. So let me see if they got a replacement camera there. Let me go take a look real quick. Let me take a real quick look real quick. St. George Island webcam. Let's see here. Oh, there's no way that's dated. That's not the new one. That's not the new one. That's an old one. Let's do this one here. That one is St. George Island's Patty Raw Bar. Let's do this one. I'll change this one. Hold on one second. Let me check this out. Hold on one second. I'm going to change cameras real quick. Oops. Okay, I just moved that one. And I want to change the other camera here. I'm not sure where the beach club's at. That's another one there. That's on the wrong side. I'll come back to that one later. I'll come back to that one. Go back to this one. That's a good question, Chris. Is it going to hit an eye tide? That's a good question. I didn't even look that up, but that's a good, excellent question. Let's take a look at that here. Let's do, I will tell you right now, St. George Island, just because that's the closest high tide. Let me take a look here. All right, let's see. Next high tide is at 6:45. Looks like it'll be, looks like it'll be between tides at landfall. Looks like high tides at 6:40, low tides at 10:53, which is tonight. So looks like we'll be right in between the high and low tide when this thing makes landfall. Good question, Chris. Thank you. I hadn't looked that up, but thank you, Chris, for asking that question. Yeah, we're at a new moon right now. So looks like we'll be kind of in between high and low tide at that point. Looks like a 2 foot. Looks like about a 1.5 foot tide surge for tomorrow. Now, keep in mind with the curvature of the coast here, anything on the right side. If this thing wobbles to the right, if this thing does not go this way and make a turn like that, if this thing just stays north, then it's going to be this curvature in here that'll get the worst of the storm surge. So we'll see how that looks on through. But this circulation, although it's trying to get something organized, it's not closed off yet. It's definitely not closed off. Be interested to see what this thing, when we get deeper into the hurricane season, what kind of storms we get. That's for sure. 12 miles per hour, 180 miles an hour, about 50. Yeah, that would be like I said. Around noon. That's why I was looking at 12 o'clock. Sometime around 11, 12 o'clock is when I was looking at landfall. Yes, you can do a little bit of math. So we're going to stay on here for another 45 minutes. I think I'll stay up to about 9 o'clock tonight. And then I want to make sure I get a good night's sleep, so I'm ready to do the wall-to-wall stuff tomorrow. So if you want to be back to watch the coverage for tomorrow, please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because when you subscribe, you should get me in your feed right away. You'll know I'm on there. You'll know you get your stuff on there. And you're going to also get my hurricane shorts. I do a daily shorts during the hurricane season. We got stuff going out there. They're 1 minute, real quick updates when we have disturbances out in the tropics, or when we have an active system like we have right now. You'll get that in there as well. It's a nice little thing to have that you can do a quick boom boom when you got a lot of time in your hand. That's why I make those 1 minute shorts. They come in pretty handy for you. Although I'm thinking about doing one where I got me on the bottom and the data above me. I'm thinking about doing that. That's something I got to look at trying to do. Let me look here. I want to look and see if I can find me another camera. I want to see if I can find me another. There used to be some really good cameras, but when Hurricane Michael came and took a bunch of them out, Mexico Beach had a great one. Apalachicola had a couple of them, but they're not there anymore. Sister Key's still there. Yeah, Siesta Key. This is another Siesta Key camera there. That's a nice one. I'll just go ahead and add this one in. I'm gonna change this. Just change my first camera to another Siesta Key camera. And change got two different Siesta. There we go. Now I got two different cameras there. So I added a separate camera from Siesta Key. So you kind of see the beach conditions there. That's on the west coast of Florida. So a little rough seas there. Panama City Beach. Panama City Beach should be okay. They're far enough away. I think they'll be all right. But I got that camera there too because it was fairly close. The Apalachicola Key would have been perfect, and the St. George Island one would have been perfect. But they're not streaming right now. Not streaming. Let's go look at the satellite imagery on this. I like to go back to satellite imagery, and I do that because I want to see how the thunderstorms are behaving around the center of circulation. So let me go the long way infrared. And you see those bright blues in there. Yeah, they're kind of holding their own. They're not overly impressive. We don't have a central dense overcast over the center of circulation because the center of circulation based off the radar, what we were looking at earlier, was be right about there. But you see all the thunderstorms are here on the north side of the storm. You don't have it under the center of the circulation. So we're not, again, you don't have a CDO there yet. Central dense overcast. Like I said, we got winds of 70. We're going to probably be at a hurricane at the 11 o'clock advisory. Probably, if not the 11, probably the 2. It'll be very interesting to see what this thing looks like during the early morning hours. Back to my signal radar here. All right, so we got all tornado warnings have now expired, but again, don't be surprised if we see some more warnings throughout the night, especially in the Florida Peninsula. If you're in there anywhere from Gainesville, the Villages, Daytona Beach, Palm Coast, getting up toward Jacksonville later tonight, as the center gets further north, and then to the right of that center, that's where you're going to see the biggest tornado threat there. They'll be isolated. They shouldn't be long-lived, but you get one to kind of hit your. Yeah, Chris, you heard about it slowing down to 8. Yes, as it moves inland, it's going to slow down to about 8, and that's why my concerns for flooding are so high for that area because of that. It's because of the potential rain that we're going to see in there could be quite significant. I mean, that's why you got these rain totals looking like that. I mean, we're talking Savannah to Charleston, anywhere from 16 to 20 inches of rain. That red path alone is 12 to 16. But the reason why it's going to go up that much is because the speed is going to slow down. That's why we're going to see that. Yeah, that can be expected. Till about 6 o'clock in the morning for the tornado watch. Yeah, thanks a lot, D. Yep. They'll do that until it goes up, and then as it pulls away, they'll clip some of those watches down a little bit. Let me look. I haven't looked at the not that one. I'm looking to see some of these storm reports here. We've had a couple of storm reports here that came up. Let's talk about this real quick. So let me go to my handy dandy interactive mode here so I can highlight some of these. I see we had a funnel earlier that was at 6 o'clock Eastern. Damage to a fence. Trailers were reported by residents along with reports of tornado touching down. So you definitely had some tornadoes in here. Wind gusts 61. Some flooding. Hasn't been too bad in here. 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's been pretty standard in there. But you see that's all the tornado warning in there. And you got all these damage reports over here. Wind gusts, 44-mile-per-hour winds, 50-mile-per-hour winds, 45-mile-per-hour winds. So you've had some pretty gusty winds with those. Some of those storms on the other side have been producing that kind of stuff. I can read our mega here. And it looks like all warnings have expired finally. And that's what we got going on. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Appreciate you checking out our coverage here on Tropical Storm Debby, which is expected to become a hurricane for tonight. If you have not considered subscribing to the channel, it'd be a pleasure to have you on board here. And if you could do me a favor before you head on out to search web somewhere else, please give me a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm here with our coverage here for tonight. And we'll be doing wall-to-wall coverage again tomorrow morning, starting about 9 o'clock, and we'll go up to landfall. And we'll take you through the evening hours here on the coverage here for this storm, which again, not a big hurricane. Not it's going to be the strongest hurricane, but where it's going to count is going to be where the rainfall. Because I keep seeing the Weather Service talking about historic, talking about it being catastrophic as part of the flood potential with this thing. As it moves inland, going throughout the day on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for that 3-day period until this thing clears on out, that's going to be the big problem with this thing. We've had some pretty significant rains with this thing already, especially through the Tampa area. Look at some of these rainfall totals coming into basically from St. Petersburg up until Clearwater. So we're talking 7, 8 inches of rain, 8 inches of rain through here, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7 going through St. Petersburg. We had over 7 inches up here north of Clearwater. So we've had significant rain, and that's going to move what kind of rain we're expecting for the interior sections into southeast Georgia, north Florida, and even over to the Carolinas. That's going to be really a big mess, because what happens when you get a tropical system as it clears on out, it tends to unwind a little bit, and you get anywhere to the east of that center of circulation. That's where you're going to see the biggest rainfall totals. See, I haven't looked at the Hurricane Hunter aircraft here a little bit. Let's take a look here. I still haven't done a drop sound, but this is the NOAA 2 plane, so they may not be doing a drop sound in there. I forget. This is not the Hurricane Hunter. The Air Force Hurricane Hunters are the one that kind of drops the ads in there. But the NOAA 2, I thought they did it as well. I must be losing my damn mind. I could have swore they did. Keep looking at both here. Nope. Oh, let me check something. I want to take a look at my 18Z here. Hold on 1 second. There's that one. Boy, the GFS is doing some crazy stuff. Good Lord. I hope the 18Z GFS is wrong. That is crazy. Not seeing that secondary system anymore. I should show that. I should show that. I really should. I should show this. I really wouldn't form that. I know it looks like on the radar just yet. Even if it was forming an eye, I wouldn't call that an eye right now because it's way too broad and too circular. Nothing that would cause a significant drop off. To me that does not constitute an eye. You're seeing a big hole in there, but I really wouldn't call that a true eye yet because that is way too big, folks. You're looking at what is that? Get that out there. Oh, what? Oh man, what'd you? I hate when I get a little glitch there in the. Oops. Cut that off. Go here. Come on. I want to show you what my miles across is at. It's not updating. I hate when it does that. I don't feel like resetting it, but that's at least 25, 30 miles across. That's way too big for an eye to really become a consequence. If it closes off, you give me one that's about 10 to 15 miles off, you give me one like that, then
I'm switching microphones real quick. Sorry, I noticed this one was starting to drop off a little bit. So I switched over to my man mic here. Cloud radar from the atmosphere. Yeah, I can do that for you. I can show you that. I can show you that real quick. Stand by for a second and I will show that to you. Although I didn't update that really quick. I need to update this one. Da-da-da-da-da. Turn that off real quick. I'm going to load this up real quick. Stand by for a second. I will show you both of them. I like using this one to show what you're asking for, so I'm going to pull it up real quick for you. Oh, bull crap. That's bull. Didn't like my password. Did not like it. There we are. Thank you. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. All right, so this is the radar and the satellite. I see what you're saying there. You look at that. So that's your satellite and radar on top of each other. You see kind of the red kind of bleeding on through there from the higher cloud tops of the storm in the middle of that radar right there. But it's not cleared out. You're not getting the sinking air in there to clear out to show the radar and the satellite to clear out a true eye. So it's not there yet. We'll see how it works out over the next few hours to see if that translates into anything. I'm still waiting on the pressure, D. I've still not seen the last update from the Hurricane Center had it at 992. That was the last one. I think that was it. Yeah, 992 was the last one. That was 8 o'clock. And that was really the same pressure we had from the 5 o'clock advisory because they haven't got a drop sound out there to get a true, honest to God reading on that yet. So, yeah, and to really get into, I mean, really kind of surprised we get the winds as high as they have with the pressure down 992. That's really not that low for a hurricane for sure. But I'll have to see the pressure get down a little bit lower than that. All right, it's 8:30, folks. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and shut down here for tonight. Again, come back and check with me tomorrow morning. I'll start about 9 o'clock. We'll get this thing going. We'll see how things going, and we'll see how this thing updates for tonight. So we're going to see you guys back in here tomorrow morning. We'll go ahead and get things going, and we'll see how things progress for this storm. We'll see. We should have a hurricane in the morning. We'll see what kind of range we get in the morning, and we'll see what kind of flooding and tornado threat we have as this thing makes landfall. Again, I'm still thinking of somewhere between about 11 and 12 o'clock when we should have landfall for tomorrow. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. You guys take it easy. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be simulcasting too. Facebook.